Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I I've been doing these what you readings for a while now, but since I'm home with the old broken neck, and probably another month or so before I'll go back to work, I just figured anytime I wanted to make a video, I'd just do it live and see what happens. As always, I put the links in here for if anybody wants to pop in, talk to me while I'm doing this. And as always, I'll filibuster a bit, see if anybody wants to join me. And of course, every time I do anything live, my phone starts blowing up and people start messaging me. I don't know if my friends think it's funny or if it's the power of coincidence. So I got a couple of people watching. Just let me know if it looks good, sounds good. If anybody wants to pop in and talk comic books with me, you're always welcome. Oh, God, it's funny. Every time I turn on the camera, I have to sneeze or something. Now I got to stifle a sneeze. So I thought I would show these. I put it in order for a sticker mule for stickers. So I didn't announce this. I didn't say anything, but anybody who backs at any level is just going to get a Heroic Tale sticker. And I always say it's a blue sky, meaning, like a hopeful superheroes, not the boys kind of superheroes. I mean, nothing against the boys. It's just not for me. I want my superheroes to be good guys. So it's blue sky. That's what I mean by blue sky. It's like the good guys are actually good and everything. So you're going to get a blue skies Heroic Tale sticker, and then you'll get a Patriarch sticker. And one of my things is I like the superheroes to have like a symbol, like maybe it's mercenary or whatever, but I think like a good marketable sticker that you could do. So like a good symbol rather. So Mary Sue's has I'm so proud of the Mary Sue symbol. I'm working on my third character, working out some details. I really like the concept. I got some negative feedback. I got some positive feedback. So this is like an executive decision about the third super character, but the street vigilante character. But he'll have a memorial symbol as well. And I just love these. And speaking of the symbol, here is the coin. These are here. They're in my hand. I got a bag of 300 of these, the Heroic Tales. I would like to get one of these, these made with for every character. Just how cool would that be? These are for sale on the campaign. You can get a Heroic Tale sticker. And then, I don't know, I'll call this the premium coin. I made these because these took so long. I wasn't sure they were going to get here in time. So they were whatever. But I panicked, and then I bought these super expensive ones. And as of now, I didn't offer these yet. So I'm thinking Heroic Tales 2, I'll put these coins on the site also. I might as well show these off. These are all here. These are all the cards. So there's the Patriarch card. There's the back of the Patriarch card. Don't worry, yours won't be bet. Mine's bet because it was the one on top of the box to show you what was in. So, so there you go. You're going to see all of his secret stats and everything. And then there's the suit. I mean, that's a Boss Moxie rather, and you'll see all of his stats. Dame, this is the one that's released. So these 4 cards. These 4 cards, everybody who backs at every level will get one of each of these 4 cards. So, if you back my comic, if you even at a $10 level, physical, I have to mail you something up, not digital. You're going to get a sticker. You're going to get 2 stickers and 4 cards, and a comic book for $10. Geez. Best, and the comic book is 39 pages, maybe 40. I might have to bump it to 40 pages just to get it printed. So, dude, you're getting a 40-page comic book for $10, 2 stickers. I'm going broke here. And then these cards. Oh, this isn't mine. This is Blood Realm card. These cards, I've shown them already. This is Gams, the Suit, and Dr. Robug. These cards haven't been unlocked yet. So maybe there's still time, maybe not. But if they're not, but they're made. I got them all. So what I will do is once everything has been fulfilled, I will put them all for sale. I'll I'll charge you $1 a card, maybe $2 a card. Yeah, I got to charge $2 a card. $2 a card, and maybe a set of all 7 for 10. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now we got some people watching. I might as well share my screen at this point. I got the Indiegogo campaign going right now. Oh, I'll show this. I'll show this. Oh, this is okay. I did do the right thing. So I got this Indiegogo campaign going. I only got 6 backers. I don't know if it'll make its goal yet, but I got 48 days left, so maybe. But the thing about this campaign is, again, you can get the Renzo cover. I love this cover. I just love looking at it. There's the back cover, but this is the prize that I want to show on this. This is the Mike Gustovich cover. How cool is that? How cool is that cover? Oh my God. I showed it to Mike Gustovich and he's like, oh man, those colors are so good. You know, I love this cover. And it would be a shame. It would be a shame to, not, because what I only 3, I don't know. Is this a coaster? No, this is a sticker. This is a pack of stickers. This is a pack of stickers. This is a pack of stickers. Everybody's going to get 2 stickers and what? 4 cards. Ernest, 48 days is a long time. You probably have much more at the last minute. Yeah. I hope so. Because what I wanted to do was print an equal number of each cover, X number of Renzo covers, X numbers of Gilbert covers, X numbers of Pat Broderick covers, and X numbers of Gustovich covers. And then when the campaign's over and everything's fulfilled, with issue 2, release packs. Like get all 4 covers here, get all this, and be able to do that. But if like the black and white cover, I don't think anybody even ordered that, or one person ordered. If one person ordered, I don't know, I might have to refund them, because I'm gonna have to pay like a couple $100 just to get it formatted and ready for printing for one, and then the back cover, I might have to refund them. I don't know. I don't know if that'll cause problems. Hey, Pops, how you doing? So that is that is the whatchamacallit, the Indiegogo. And of course, I would be remiss in my duty if I did not bring up where is it? There we go. If I did not bring up, the Fund My Comic is still available. This is going to be my home. I do not think I'm going to go on any other platforms going forward. Issue 2, I think I'm just going to do everything on Fund My Comic, and Kickstarter, I did 1,000. I can't complain. Indiegogo, I can't, I think I'll just do everything on Fund My Comic, because I think I kind of hurt myself, because all the enthusiastic people probably would have gotten all 4 covers at once, and then they moved on. They're not going to follow me on anything for other covers. But anyway, as the campaigns close, I move the covers over here so you can get the Patriarch. Of course, you can get the Patriarch. You can get the Michael T. Gilbert camping cover. I love that. It's like so campy and whimsical. I just love it. So you can get that there. And like I said, I will be moving the Gustovich cover over there. And if you want to back it and you already did and you don't want to pay postage again, just send me an email. Just send me an email, whatever. I got the black and white cover. You might be the only one, if because it's going to cost. I'd hate to turn this into numbers and dollars, but I have to at this point. If I think you might be the only one to get the black and white cover, and if you don't mind, I'll probably swap it out with a Gustovich cover or something, if you don't mind, because it looks like I got like less than 3 orders, and it's going to cost me a couple $100 to pre-press it, and do all of that stuff, get it ready for printing, just for 2 covers. So just let me know. Send me a message. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Exclusive to Fund My Comic. You would not be the first. Doc is feeling the same way. Yeah, well, Fund My Comic has been nothing but great for me. It's wonderful. It's run by fans. It's run by a guy who's passionate about it. You know, Luke is a good guy. He's one of us. He first thing he did was give me his phone number. You know, I got his phone number. I called him during dinner to solve a problem. Sorry about this mic right here, but you know, right. But just pretend it's a mic. How you doing? This is John from let's talk about soup. Do you guys like soup? We'll do that like NPR. But anyway, I was 20 minutes behind on the stream. I hate what I just started. I just started. I just started. But not 20. Oh, you 2 minutes. Yeah. DCC, I haven't seen you in a while. Hi, John. Glad you like the fan art. I'm looking forward to reading it. Did you add new covers? Yeah. I just showed this. I'll bring it back. I just showed this. The Mike Gustovich cover. Oh, I'm not. Yes, the Mike Gustovich cover. So this is the last cover. So there's 4 covers. There's 4 covers. Then there's the back cover is the front cover, the black and white. The back cover is the front cover, and the black and white. I don't know if they're going to happen. I might ask people who back those to swap them out with something else, because I got less than like 4 orders, and it's going to cost me hundreds of dollars just to prep those. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's going to happen. It all depends. You know, the printer might be like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. Who knows? But I'll keep everybody abreast, and I will notify everybody. So there you go. But this is the Mike Gustovich cover. This is the last of the variants. And again, when Indiegogo closes down, this is going to get thrown to Fund My Comic. And then I you know, if whatever, I'm going to say stuff to get myself in trouble, and we should really stop. All right, so 5 minutes. We're counting down, and Eric the Guapo is going to blast off. Hey, Van Zant, I want to have you on a stream sometime. Yeah, sure. This is an open invite. You know, I'm going to start talking about comics. You know, this is what you're reading, so I'm going to talk about this stack of comics right over here. Wow, that was sweet. The Gustovich, yeah. Pops probably remembers Mike Gustovich. Gustovich was a big deal in the 80s. I don't know so much about the 90s, but he did the Justice Machine. He drew the Justice League for a while. He's I think he's more known as an inker. Just a great guy. What a goofy, fun guy he is. You know, go watch my live talk with him. It's funny. I had to go remind him to put clothes on because he's that kind of guy. Nothing like an 80-year-old naked man. This really, I like that. Me too. And again, anybody wants to come in, pop in, and there we go. So let's start I got enough people. I did my commercials. I talked about my stuff. And no, this is not a coaster. This is a metal coin. This is a pack of stickers. And again, for those of you who are new, because it just seemed like a bunch of people popped in, if you back my comic, a physical comic at any level, whether 1 comic or 100, everybody's getting a Hero Tail sticker. Everybody's getting a patriarch symbol sticker, and everybody's getting not that one, not that. Everybody's getting a Boss Moxie card, a patriarch card, and a Mal card. Okay, those, and I think, yeah, and Dame. Everybody's getting those cards. Okay, so for $10, guys, $10, you're getting 2 stickers. You're getting 4 cards and a 40-page comic book. 40 pages. I can't stop adding stuff, you know. So, and then these cards, these 3 cards, so far are still locked. They're still locked. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Wow, that one is sweet. Cool. I'm glad you like it. DCC, I'm glad you like it. And I might DCC. I might have to do because I got 38 pages of material, and I really don't want to do an ad for the printer in the back inside cover. So the back inside cover, it might be a mock ad, but that means I have a page of free stuff. So I might put some of the fan art that people sent me. So DCC, if I use your art, I'll have to reimburse you. I don't, I think that's the story to go. Is there a live coupon code? I'm in my cart. There's no coupon codes because my comic's so freaking cheap. It's $10. $10. I can't make it any cheaper, guys. I'm pretty much going to be taking a bath on this comic. I don't know what else to say. Sorry, Pops. All right, so these are the comics that I just read. I know you're broke ass. Well, I'll once I got to pay for the printing, I'll be broke ass too. And guys, no joke, I've been out of work for 3 months, no paycheck for 3 months. Oh, thank you, DCC. Okay, thank you. I got some cool fan art. I really, really like it. Okay, so let's take a look at all of these comics. This is a stack of comics that I read since the last time I did a What You Readin'. So this is who keeps messaging me? I don't know if you hear it. I don't know if you could hear. My phone is just, why don't I just turn the sound off? There you go. There you go. Finally got smart. 56 years. I finally got smart. Okay, so this is Maximum Press, Image Comics, Asylum. I think it's a 9-issue series, and it's an anthology, and it's horrible. It's just horrible. It's like 4-page previews of like, oh, we're gonna make this comic book. What do you guys think? So that it's like somebody makes 4 pages of a comic, they stick it in here, and then that comic either never came out or it came out or whatever. But I got it because of Bean World. It's Bean World. I have a weird relationship with Bean World comic. Larry Marder's Bean World. When I worked at the comic book store in the 80s and 90s, the Incredible Pulp in Boulder, Long Island, Larry, no relation to Larry Marder because it's just the first name, he loved Bean World, and I just thought it was the most insane thing in the world. And then I got nostalgic. Me and Larry hung out at a barbecue, and we were talking about old comics. So I was like, I'm going to give Bean World a look. And when I bought it, it's really weird. I had a really weird reaction to Bean World. You can see one of my videos on. I did a video on Bean World. I forget which issue. I think number 1. And I was like kind of scared of it. It just struck me as like the rantings of a schizophreniac. Yeah. Oh, this is my sugar daddy from down under, RRTNZ. Hey, John, I'm off to oh, man, you're off to a funeral. It made me think, if anything happens to you, I'll probably never meet anyone else to talk to. What are you doing? Don't wish ill on me, man. I'm doing good. My doctor says my heart is fine. No stroke. I just had a checkup. Had blood drawn because of my car accident. That all the doctors want to rule out what didn't cause the accident, so we can figure out what caused the accident. We think it was like just blood sugar between the heat and not eating just caused me to faint while driving. But I'll probably never meet anyone else to talk B&B and elementals with. So look after yourself. You know what? I'll finish my Bean World story in a second, but you made me think of this, so I guess I gotta talk about this. I have a website. If you go to www.villainsvigilantesforum.com, that'll take you to this. This is like a page I have, and this is just a advertisement for. This is the Fund My Comic. This is the Kickstarter. This is the Indiegogo, and then this is my forum. If you click on forum right here, this will take you to my Villains Vigilantes message board, which is now back in action after so many problems. My buddy Paul fixed it, and this is just where I post all my write-ups for story ideas. And we just got a bunch of new messages just a couple of days ago. It's back in action, so thank you for reminding me to talk about that. But as you may know, my comic book is based on my role-playing adventures, and that's why on the back of the cards it says Villain Vigilantes and has their stats. So if you buy a core rule book of V&V, you could use these cards and have Molly Cusack in your game, Psychopath Molly, who she's taken her own. She was just supposed to be a no-name background. Everybody noticed the way Renzo drew her, and then I started thinking about her and other people like, you should. So she might level up and become a supervillain on her own. But anyway, as I was talking about Bean World kind of scared me. It just seemed like rantings of a madman. And now my phone's ringing, and it's the Geico insurance people. I need to take this call, but I guess I won't. And it's scary. And then I bought like 10 issues all at once, and then I fell in love with it too. So long story short, Asylum, I bought this because it continues Bean World. Long, boring story. So this is issue 3. It has Bean World in here, so I'm reading Bean World. Okay, this, hey, we got Apex Comics in here. How you doing, Apex? And we get Jim O'Reilly. Oh, man. Jim, people were commenting on your art yesterday on Crom the Destroyer. I had RJ on Comic Book Team Up at 8:30 last night. You can see it on my channel. It's the most recent live video I posted. And guys, he was raving about your artwork. Raving about it. So this is Wolf and Batsy Volume 1. You can see this is a big old thick. This is if you go to Indie Planet or BrianBow.net, you could get a copy of this. So this is the original, like he changed a few things to put them in the comic book format. So this is his original. So I had to get it. And what I really liked about it is it had a couple like extra pages. The art looks so good in this black and white. It's got pinups, drawings, and then like a little like behind the scenes art from Wolf and Batsy. And as you can tell, I freaking love Wolf and Batsy. So I had to get it. I got the other volumes, but I didn't read them yet. That one was easy to read because I already read the comics. This is Asylum number 2. I read Asylum number 1 a long time ago. But as you can see, Bean World. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Image Comics as a whole was detrimental to the comic book industry. I just don't. I think they changed comics for the worst, and we're still recovering. I love Jim O'Reilly's artwork. So do I. And, I'll use my microphone over here to talk like NPR again. I kind of think that's fun. Oh, we got comics. Anybody likes comics? Okay, Jim O'Reilly. I have to get back to Crom soon before RJ has my head on a pike. Yeah, you'll get slaughtered. You'll get slaughtered. Thanks, Apex. Just had lunch. Oh, cool. Mike's Total Dragon Channel, a scathing hot take. Yes, I know. Let the slings now. I got it. You don't get anywhere in this indie comic book world without being controversial, right? So that's my controversial. And speaking of Image Comics, this is Paul Thayer's comic. This is what was it? Visual Vibrations. This is Crimson Pain one shot. Omega 2099. This is 2 of 4. This is 1 of 4. And what is this? This is Project Analysis. Okay, so this I backed all in. So I got all of his Project Analysis comics. I read them all. Not quite one sitting because I started way too late, but I stayed up to like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I woke up the next day, did what I had to do in the morning, and then continued reading them. So I read them pretty much in a 24-hour period. And if you do like Image Comics, get these, because this is Image Comics, but with actual story, actual writing, actual characters, actual plot, actual storytelling. You know what I mean? And then Paul is the most active guy in comic books. Like, he's the biggest hustler. We will all be working for him. And if you're interested, I was posting how much I liked him, and he's like, we got to talk. So tonight at 9:30, it has to be late because I got friends coming over. Thursday night is game night for me, but they go to bed early. They're my age. But I'm not working, so I stay up as late as I want because I'm living like a child right now. So at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight, I'll have a conversation with Paul Thayer of Project Analysis, and we're just going to talk now that I've read his comics. This is by Star Wars number 3. I did this for Sunday Comics. I can't put comic books away until I do a What You're Reading, so now I could put these comics away. I finally finished this novel. This was really interesting. Quick, good eyes. Good Eyes. Nice, nice. I recommend these comics. Um, I know I said Image Comics was bad because the story was so bad. And, let's face it, we all have weird memories. The art wasn't that good either, But if you like Image Comics, I totally recommend Project Analysis. He'll be on tonight. You could pick up all his comics. This guy's a hustler. This guy's a hustler. Oh, you're back at 216. Hey, thanks, Pops. Thanks, Pops. I don't know. I was going to say I'll put in something special. And again, I'm nobody. So if you want your comic signed, which I kind of laugh because who wants me to sign their comic books? I'm nobody. I can understand Jim Lee, John Byrne, because then you can put them on eBay and get like a couple $100. I just like pretending this is a microphone. And if you want, once all the comics are here, I'm going to get the boxes of comic books. I'm going to spend a night just bagging and boarding every comic. So your comics will get bagged and boarded because it has to be, and you have to use the correct tape when you bag and board, and the tape has to be horizontal. You know what I mean? It's like this. Oh, like, see, that's wrong. That's wrong. I was going to prove that I do it meticulously, and I'm wrong. But that's the way you tape a comic. You tape it like that. It's just the way it goes. Oh, so this is Project Analysis, the graphic novel of the first 4 issues. So there you go. But anyway, if you want me to sign your comic, which I don't understand, I will put out a general announcement. I'm bagging and boarding comics. I'll put a stack of signed ones, and I'll put a stack of whatever. If you want me to do it, I will do it. No charge. Who cares? It's not like you can go put it on eBay and make $50 extra. You know what I mean? I don't care. And if you do, good for you. Good for you. It means I could do it too. But just let me know and I'll do it. I'm not going to charge. Who the hell am I? Who the hell am I? That's what I was going to say to you. Okay. I guess they're talking. It's a first print. First issue, of course, I want it signed. Oh, okay. Just again, I'm going to put out a general announcement for anybody. Who the hell am I to charge for that? Your message, the wrong account. Send it here. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Okay, so again, so this is a novel. I got into a thing years ago where I wanted to read all the classic literature that was comic book inspired, that inspired comic books. So the Lensman by E.E. Smith inspired the Green Lantern Corps, so I read that. A Gladiator by Philip Wiley inspired Superman, so I read that. I'm currently reading Doc Savage, which inspired like so many things. Superman and everything. I haven't. My computer's making noise. I haven't read The Shadow yet, so I'm going to be reading The Shadow. So many things. But anyway, long story short, there was a comic book called The Young All-Stars, and Roy Thomas referenced this novel, and he pretty much made it a part of DC continuity. And then I always thought about that. I was like, oh, okay, so this is kind of interesting. And then Hellboy mentions Vril. Vril is this basically superpowers. It's the in-house Hellboy term for superpowers. It is the unexplainable meta force that creates superpowers. And they reference this book. So I was like, I got to get this book. So I got it. And it's one of those books that it's supposed to be. This author on his deathbed released it and swears it's true. So what happens is this guy, he's kind of a layabout. He gets a rich friend. He's like living off his rich buddy because he's good looking and charming. And then the rich friend buys a gold mine, and they go into the gold mine to just check it out. Like, look, I own a gold mine. Let's and it's set like like right after the Civil War, and they fall on loose rocks. The rich friend dies. Oh, jeez, my computer. The rich friend dies, and he falls and meets this underground race of people called the Vril Ya. And the Vril Ya are a subterranean race. They know about humanity, but they're horrified by them, so they kind of stay away from them. And they underground, because of the harsh conditions, they evolved this ability to manipulate Vril. And the way they describe it is Vril is yes, I also read John Carter, Warlord of Mars. Yes, I read Tarzan. Yes, John Carter, Warlord of Mars. The only thing I haven't read yet is I read one Conan story. I got to read more Conan. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so Vril is described as like it's electromagnetic energy, but it responds to thoughts. So it's almost as if people could harness electricity mentally, but they have these staffs that they could harness Vril, and they use it for various powers. The first third of the book is cool. He falls, he meets the people that and it becomes to befriend them. The middle of the book is a slog. I kept putting it down. I kept putting it to the point where I would challenge myself to read a page or two a day. It was just a slog, because the first part of the book is the showing us what's going on. The last third of the book is showing us what's going on, but the middle is telling us what's going on. It's the world building. It is, the same complaint that I had about a recent comic book that got me in trouble. It just was just this and this and this and this and this and this. And it seems like a lot of these older novels that had a lot of problems with just explaining, it was almost like an anthropology textbook. But then the last third of the book, it really picked up, and I couldn't put it down. So there you go. So, and the power of the coming race. And what does he do? He's like telling us there's this race underground that are scientifically more advanced. They got superpowers, and there's not that much space underground. And sooner or later, they're going to conquer the earth, and so this book is supposed to be a warning. I really enjoyed it. This was a surprise hit. Okay, Denali, I think his name is the guy who made this comics, Denali Comics. He was going to come on my channel, but his camera didn't work, so he kind of just dropped out. But he sent me this preview. My only complaint was it was so small, it was hard to read. I had to, but this is excellent. This is absolutely excellent. The Immortal Mask by Denali Comic. You could go. Critical Blast sells them. So, but this was absolutely excellent. This was just, to me, this was one of the best comics that I read from this whole crowdfunding, indie scene, whatever you want to call it. It was so good. I feel bad because I hope this person isn't mad at me. I hope I didn't, burn any bridges. But his camera didn't work, so we didn't do it. But he's welcome to come back. Pops, if you know Denali, if anybody knows Denali, reach out to him. This was excellent, absolutely excellent. I forget who was telling me about. Oh, let's address some of the chat questions. Remember when Doc Savage was a part of the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man team? Yes, I think that's how I was introduced to Doc Savage. I'm old, but I'm not pulp novel old. Again, drinking my, speaking of Hellboy, drinking my Tim Hortons delicious coffee. Yeah, so that the Mike Kaluta, Roy Thomas hardcover was how I got introduced to the Shadow. Although I knew about the Shadow because my father loved the Shadow. So my father remembers listening to the radio. Who knows what evil lurks in the heart of men? He remember that. But Doc Savage, I kind of heard about, but I was introduced to him from Marvel Comics. Vril Docs. Isn't that Brainiac 5? Isn't that Brainiac 5? That's funny. Was he created by Roy Thomas? Vril sounds a lot like Nicole Tesla called the Ether. Yeah. Yeah. The Vril, keep in mind that was supposed to be the name from the subterranean people who didn't speak English, and Tesla who spoke English. So they could be the same thing. Cool. Yeah. Good connection. Greetings from Raleigh, North Carolina. Every time I hear that, I think of that James Brown. Raleigh, North Carolina. I never know what I thought of DC got a hold. I never knew that. I thought DC got a hold of Doc Savage. Did DC? I remember Marvel had Doc Savage. Did DC? But I remember DC had Flash Gordon and all those guys. I got mine. Get yours. Thank you, Pops. Fund my comic. So right now you could get My heroic tales on Fun My Comic. It's never leaving. It's never leaving Fun My Comics. That's my home. But it's also on Indiegogo, where you can get the Mike Gustovich cover. But on Fun My Comic, you could get the Michael T. Gilbert cover, the Renzo cover, and the Pat Broderick cover. I'm holding up my fingers, but I'm not showing them. And the Mike Gustovich is the fourth and final cover. This is 1941. Who was telling me about this? But I'm a big fan of this movie. I love this movie. I know people, it bombed and took down studios, and one of the biggest bombs in cinema history. I love this movie. I don't know why. I just love it. And I think it's one of those movies that's like fondly remembered, but it bombed in the movie theater. And this is the comic book adaptation of it by Rick Feisch and Steve Bissett. So as crazy as the movie was, let's imagine that a film could take LSD. So this is the movie of 1941 took LSD, and it's just insanity. It's just insanity. I love it. I love it. Oh, Penthouse Comics. Oh my God. Hey, Genuine Comics is here. Dave Brink is here. How you doing? Good to see you, Dave. Get yourself some. He's got an active campaign right now on I think it's on Fun My Comic and Indiegogo. Perfect 10. Perfect. Really, really like it. I'm always pushing for Genuine. And yes, you said you wanted to do some sort of group project. I would love to. I'd love to be part of it. Love to be part of it. So this is Penthouse Comics. This is. I didn't realize this, but I bought this, and then I bought this thinking it was the next issue. This is number 1. Now, I'm not a prude. I got no problems with nudity in comics, provided you know what you're selling to, you know who your market is. And, my comic is all ages. I tell you, Eddie is Doomed is not all ages. I'll tell you right now, that's going to have an R rating, but I will make that clear when I put, when I do the crowdfund for that. That Eddie's Doomed is in my Vertigo line. That's a crossover of Love and Rockets meets Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I'll make that clear. So I'm not a prude. I don't mind this, but what I do like is when it's clearly labeled so people know what they're getting. Penthouse Comics, you know what you're getting. Now, here's the funny thing. This was really tame. Because in the 90s, they did Penthouse Comics, but the X, the C had an X, Penthouse Comics, and they were just over the top, nudity, sex, full on climaxes and everything. Use your imagination to what I'm talking about, penetration and everything. But they were super well drawn, so that was just super like I think like Greg Land and Adam Hughes did, and Rachel Dodson. I think they drew up. So it was just porn superheroes. These, I'll say that these are like R-rated. Like this is like the Skinamax version. It's there's no full frontals, there's no sex, there's topless girls, and then like suggestive storytelling. But they're excellent. Except for the second story, which was just conservatives are bad and conservatives are going to enslave women, and I was like, oh my God, I was subtle as an atom bomb. But the other story, they were excellent to the point I can't wait to read issue 2. I got issue 2 over here, but it's not. Do you like boobs? Do you like boobs? Because you're going to see boobs. You can see boobs like almost on every page, but not as much as you think you would. And then they follow it up with a photo shoot of a ridiculous girl covered in tattoos with big old fake boobies, and it's not full frontal. It's actually very tame for Penthouse Comics. So there you go. There you go. As you can see, I'm not a big fan of fake boobs and tattoos on women. I know. And Cerberus 63. I'm liking it. This is you can see this was pressure's getting to me. How can I use tricks and artistry and a lot of use of shadows to make it look like the pages are full, but masterfully done. I'm digging. I've stopped. I read issue 1 to 50 of Cerberus real quick, and then I kind of got burnt out, and I put it away for months. Now I'm back to reading, and this is my first read of Cerberus. I avoided this as a kid. Okay. We got some first appearance of Beast Boy over here. Look at that. Look at that. Ridiculous. So Doom Patrol. So I'll put these in order because when I rated them, I put them up. So we got Doom Patrol 97. I don't know why. I didn't like Silver Age DC for the longest time. It's just too goofy and whimsical and childish. And now as an adult, I'm loving it. I am absolutely. So I'm collecting the Doom Patrol. I got from their first appearance to 99 so far. So I think, what was it? My Greatest Adventure 86, I think was their first appearance. Something like that. So I'm loving these. These are so charming. These are so charming to the point where in Eddie is Doomed, he's reading top comics. So so here's my roadmap. So Heroic Tales is the lettering should be done today, and then I send off the files to the pre-press guy, and then it's printing, and then it's fulfilling. So there's the schedule on that. Once it's done fulfilling, I'm going to start the campaign for issue 2, because issue 2, Renzo just was sending me pages yesterday. He sent me pages yesterday. He asked if he could finish Aaron Sparrow. And I said, yeah, finish Aaron Sparrow, man. We are way ahead of the schedule as far as issue 2. I paid him for a bunch of pages, and then I said, go finish Aaron Sparrow, because that's got the deadline Doom. We don't have the deadline Doom. So anyway, we're well ahead on issue number 2. So I'm going to start working on that. And then once that's launched, I might launch Eddie is Doomed. So there might be a little bit of an overlap between issue 2, but I did not want to launch Eddie is Doomed right after issue number 1. I didn't want to pull the your boy Zach mistake. Everybody loved Jawbreakers. Well, here's something that's not like Jawbreakers. And this isn't what you like. This is something different. And so I'm not. I'm going to learn from other people's mistakes. So I'm going to, and that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do Heroic Tales, and then, a side project until I'm broke, because making comic books, you ain't make it. Right, Dave? Right, Dave? We ain't making money. So here's issue 98. Oh, so as I was saying, I like the Silver Age DC so much now that in Eddie is Doomed, Eddie Pagano, the main character, reads Top Comics. Top Comics is my in-house. Oh, speaking of Eddie is Doomed, here's Oscar Carano, who's drawing all the top. He's drawing the top 10. The top 10 are the top comics superhero characters. So inside Eddie is Doomed, he's going to be drawing and coloring the superhero portions, and it's a pastiche, an homage, a goof, a riff of classic Golden Age and Silver Age DC comics, and Oscar is blowing it out of the water. So amazing. And then Tonic Bowl will be drawing the story of Eddie, the realistic story, So that's going to be black and white, and then Oscar's going to be color. It's going to be like 2 comics meshed together. But anyway, I had a lot of fun. Me and Oscar have been designing these Golden Age and Silver Age characters to populate the world of Top Comics. And then in that world, Premier Comics is going to be the Marvel Comics. Maybe we'll make some like Marvel Comics to compare it to. But I'm already planning, if Eddie is Doomed does well, I would like to do top 10 comic secret origins and do the origins of all the characters that Oscar designed. And Oscar will just do like 10-page, maybe a 4-issue series of like 10-page stories of the origins of all of these, the Golden Age, Silver Age, Captain Arachnid and stuff. I really excited. A lot of stuff coming. I just got to streamline my process, and I got to make it a little bit more cost effective. You know what I mean? I spent way too much money. What does that say? Love the Doom Patrol? Yeah, I love the Doom Patrol too. Give me some 60s Doom Patrol anytime. I discovered the Doom Patrol in a digest book with the cover drawn by John Byrne. John Byrne loved the Doom Patrol. Oscar, so talented. Oh, Oscar has a comic coming out in November called what's the name of your comic? Magna Roma. by Magma Comics. You got to check it out. Oscar, put the name of your comic in the chat. You know, it looks so good. I love to see a Jawbreakers cover. Oh, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I would love to see a Heroic Tales comic drawn by John Byrne. Oh my God, my head would explode. My head would explode. I'd just like, oh, here's a cover by John Byrne, Heroic Tales, Patriarch drawn by John Byrne. Okay, good. I just go lay down in the coffin, close the coffin, and smile and pass away happy. Oscar's agreeing that it's a lot of fun. When I'm done with this, I'm going to spoil, and so hang on to the end. I'll show you what me and Oscar are working. Top Comics and Premier Comics. Yes, those are the two comic book companies that exist in the world of Heroic Tales. So Patriarch has 7 children. His kids read Top Comics and Premier Comics, and they fight. Top Comics is for kids. Premier Comics is the good, you know. Black Noir, Captain Arachnid. Oh, I got an idea. Oscar's got good ideas. I just hit 2,000 followers on Twix. Had to check and make sure it wasn't a porn bot before celebrating. Oh, on Twitter. Okay, Twix. Oh, duh, light bulb. Roma Eternal. Roma Eternal. Hang out after I show the comics. I'll give Oscar a plug because he deserves it. You got to check out this comic. If there was a comic that was just made for me, it's Roma Eternal by Magma Comics. I think it's available in November. It'll be in comic book stores. You can get it. You know, it looks awesome. John, what is the comic that grabbed you and made you the fan that you are today? I have to say, fantastic. My brain just shut off. All of a sudden, I'm like pudding. I have to say, the Avengers from 150 to 200. Oh my God, some of the best comics ever made. And the Fantastic Four from 180 to about 180 to I'm going to say till whatever issue John Byrne left. But that was it. So if you get Fantastic Four from 180, you know what? We'll make it easy. Avengers 150 to 200, Fantastic Four 150 to 250. Just that's it. You read those comic books. You read those comics. Just sit down, read them, get yourself an iced tea, you know, get some French fries. Oh man, iced tea, some French fries in a comic book. What that's the best. You're hooked. You're hooked. John Byrne could draw a box cover for laxatives. Yeah. Yep. Twix sounds like a porn social media site. Yeah. I still say Twitter. It's Twitter. Twitter was beautiful. This week starts solicitations in Diamond. Oh, cool. Remind me, Oscar, I'll do my best to push that comic. That looks awesome. X-Men meets Doom Patrol by John Byrne. Yeah. So anyway, this is Doom Patrol, you know, and this is X-Men. This is Doom Patrol 99. This is the first appearance of Garfield Logan, Beast Boy. And he just shows up and causes havoc and left. And I think he just got like popular and they called him back, let him join the team. Because in this issue right before, Mento wanted to join and they wouldn't let him join. So I think they were, toying with the idea of a new member. Bizarre Heroes. This is number 13. I just really love these colors in this. This is Don Simpson, Megaton Man. I've been a fan of his forever. And on the stack right over here, I got Bizarre Heroes coming up after Asylum Comics. Bizarre Border Worlds. That's like his because Megaton Man is goofy and funny, and it's a parody on it's a parody but not a parody. The first couple of issues of Megaton Man that came out in like the 80s. Oh my God, the 80s. They were the goofing up parodies of comics, but it grew into its own thing. So the character of Megaton Man is always silly, but all the ancillary characters, some of them are very serious, some of them are goofy, and some of them are responses to comic book storylines. There's no way to explain this comic. It's acquired taste, and I freaking love it. I love it. And I asked Don Simpson to come on my channel, and since I wouldn't submit an itinerary of what we were going to talk about, he said no. I was like, it's a conversation. When you have a conversation with somebody, do you submit an itinerary? but he wasn't comfortable with that. Okay, Conan the Barbarian number 11. Again, I need to talk about do I have Don Simpson's King Kong miniseries? I didn't know there was one. I didn't know there was one. Now I got to look. Now I got to look. I did not know. Oh, wow. That's cool. Is the Roma Eternal comic based on the science fiction novel? Oh, I didn't know there was a novel, Roma Eternal. John Byrne evades Comic Gates 1. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I know John Byrne doesn't he doesn't do interviews, he doesn't do stuff like that, but I still email him and ask. You never know, right? That's what I do. I email people and ask. So you go. So I already saw this. I didn't know about this. I got to check it out. Oh, well, you can't win them all. To what? That I didn't know about. So this is Conan. This is the original. This is Barry Windsor Smith, back when he was only Barry Smith. This was good. I really like this. I famously to me, I didn't like Swords and Sorcery comics. I played Dungeons and Dragons. I like the movies. I love the Conan movie, but I didn't read the comics because to me, comic books were superheroes. So I never read these. And then talking to RJ, and RJ making a comic book called Crop the Destroyer with Jim O'Reilly doing art and Nick Axe doing art. Him talking about it so enthusiastically, I said, you know what? So I bought Conan number 1 years ago, and I put it in my spinner rack, and I never read it because I knew if I read it, I'd have to buy issue number. So finally, I was like, I'm going to buy it. So I read Conan, I get this, and then when I put in an order for back issues, I'll get number 12. So I'm like collecting. I put in an order for back issues. I was going to say once a month, but when I was working, I was putting in like an order for back issues like every 2 weeks. Now I'm out of work. Haven't had a paycheck now in 3 months. So my back issue, if you notice, my back issue bonanzas have slowed down. That's what I call my series when I show off all the back issues. So this was in a back issue bonanza. Now it's in a What You Reading. And then sooner or later, it'll be in a cataloging my collection. And then you'll never see it again unless I do a video. So this is Graveyard Shift, Volume 1 by John Mallon and Mark Polton. Whenever I get crowdfunded comics, you can't see, and I'm not going to, well, I can move. So you see there's 3 stacks of comics right here. Okay. So the first stack is old comics, like stuff, back issue comics, like Border Worlds or Conan and Doom Patrol. The middle stack is stuff that I'm collecting now that's new on the newsstand, and the third stack is crowdfunded comics. So I'm trying to always read the because I would get crowdfunded comics, put it on that stack, and then forget about it. So I just finally read this like a couple of days ago, and that's all I'll say about it. I finally read it. Now this is a board game. This is Divine Right board game. The original came out in 1978, and man, it's an old instant board game, with hexagon boards and cardboard chits and everything like that. It's obviously based on, inspired by Lord of the Rings, and I used to play this game all the time as a kid. I loved this game, and then they did a 25th anniversary edition. I bought that. It wasn't as good. It just didn't look right. And now this is the newest edition. I just got this. Oh man, I got this about 2 hours ago. It just came in the mail, so I didn't take it out of the cellophane yet. So I probably will be ripping this open and reading the rules and checking it out. At 6 o'clock, I got buddies coming over for board games. Then at 9:30, I got a conversation with Paul Thayer of Project Analysis. And then after that, I'll probably explore this. But this is the game. I play it once a year. I try to get my friends together like close to my birthday or close, because this is an old school game. This is an 8-hour board game. You're here all day. So on my birthday, I'm like, it's my birthday, make guilt my friends come over. And then I ease it by my wife will make chili, and well, I'll set up, I'll take out a folding table and set up like a whole table of food and snacks and drinks and beers and sodas and whatever. And then my whole table is covered by this gigantic map, and we play Divine Right. I haven't played it since COVID. I think the last time I played like 3 or 4 years ago. So I'll put my needle back over here, and I'll throw this is the comic that I was reading as I started this. I'll put this down out of my face, bring this up a little bit. There you go. There you go. So this is what I'm reading now. I was halfway through it when I realized it was 3 o'clock and it was time to do my video. So let's take a look at the again. Anybody want to pop in? Here's the invite. You know, this is you know, I'm not the professor lecturing. If you want to join in, we can talk comics. So if you pop on in, pop on in. Let's check out the comments. I met John Byrne at New York Comic Con. He was not happy to be there. I met John Byrne at a Big Apple Con. Big Apple Con. I was 14 at the time, and he was nice. He was nice. He was drawing. He signed my copy of Fantastic Four 246 with Galactus, and he was nice. He was pleasant. I was a little kid, you know. John, I'm guessing that you have not read any Judge Dredd comics. No, I have not. I was you. I think it was you, right? You sent me links to a few, but I wasn't able. I can't buy anything just yet. You know, I can't buy anything. That Divine Right game, I bought that like 2 years ago. You know, it was a Kickstarter. You think comic books are late? Guys, you think comic books are late? Back board games on Kickstarter. I've got Kickstarters for board games that are 7-8 years late. No original idea. Crime Noir Futuristic Rome. Okay. That's for Robot Eterna. When I asked John Byrne to draw a CG book, he will ask, what's Comicsgate? Yeah, most people don't know. Most people don't know. And it's over. Comicsgate is over, guys. Comicsgate is 3 people, and their sales are dwindling. Comicsgate is over. They're laughing at us. Comicsgate lost. Okay, they're laughing at it. Gail Simone is writing the X-Men, and the 3 guys who are doing who still call themselves Comicsgate, their sales are cut in half. You know, how does talking bad about people sell comics? You know, you want to be Howard Stern? Who listens to Howard Stern anymore? You know, all the olds. That's me. Not saying anything was a whole lot. His fans tell him when he will attack you again. And not saying anything says a whole lot. His fans will tell him and he will attack you again. I like Mark Bolton's a good guy. I like Mark Bolton. Is that a Dan Fraga cover? Yes, it is. Yes, this is a Dan Fraga cover. Good eyes. Good eyes. Good eyes. Let's turn this. I just love how like this camera you could do any angle, anything you want. So I've been talking an hour. Nobody seems to be popping in, and it looks like just as I said that, we got another comment. You have to admit, John Byrne is funny for being a bit of an a-hole. Yes, I talk about as disgusting men. We all understand the crazy to hot ratio in women, right? You will date a crazy girl. The hotter the girl, the more crazy you'll put up with. Well, the more talented the artist, the more a-hole I will put up with. John Byrne, he could tell me to F myself to my face and I'll still smile. You know, Alan Moore, he could, you know, well, not punch me, but he could insult me to my face and I'll still smile. Fabian Nicieta, he insulted me to my face and F that guy. You know what I mean? Because whatever. So that's the so when you're dating, the hotness to crazy ratio, the A to talent ratio is strong with guys like John Byrne and Alan Moore. You know, and Garth Ennis. I don't think not Garth Ennis, Grant Morrison. I don't think Grant Morrison would be an a-hole, but I do think Garth Ennis would be like insufferable. You know, and now look at Neil Gaiman. You know, I used to love that guy. He insulted me, and you know, now he's fallen from grace, and I'm not shedding a tear. we need a new name for. I don't even want a new name. I don't even want a new name. Just Indie Comics. Just Indie Comics. You know, I'm not much of a joiner. I'm not much of a joiner. I feel like once you join something, it becomes a movement, and then once the rules come in, and then there's infighting. Can't we just be individuals who make comic books and like comic books? You know, my circle I purposely made my circle smaller, and I love my circle. Like this guys that I just love their comics. I love them. I love their work. Like guys like Brian Bao, guys like Dave Brink, you know, Oscar, Hojo. I regretted starting listing names as soon as I said it because I'm going to forget names. I just, you know, Fabrizio Aiello, you know, Tonic Bowl, you know, these are the guys. I love them. You know, Jimmy Palmiotti. I love that guy. You know, we disagree, but he's just a good guy. You know, why do we have to start a club? You know, like George Carlin said, it's like, I love individuals. It's when they start forming groups I have problems with, you know, and I like the ideals of Comicsgate. I thought Comicsgate was important. I thought it was necessary. And ultimately it amounted to nothing. It amounted to nothing. You know, really, what did Comicsgate accomplish? Marvel Comics is still garbage. DC Comics is still garbage. You know, the crowdfunded scene, the biggest seller in crowdfunding isn't CG. You know, it's Eric July. I don't care what he says. He's crowdfunding. You know what I mean? That's the same as crowdfunding because I'm doing the same thing. I'm making the comic book and then selling it on a Kickstarter site. You know, and I'd consider that crowdfunding. So, you know, do we have to form a group? Do we have to form a club? Can't we just be a bunch of guys like making comic books? I don't know. I'm not much of a joiner. I'm not an anarchist. You know, I just feel like, you know, my politics are individual liberty, individual rights, individual liberty. You know, whatever party, whatever candidate is going to give me the most individual liberty, that's who I support. And I feel that once we create groups and organizations, there's too much compromise, and then there's factions, and then next thing you know, the Protestants hate the Christians, and the Christians hate the very Gingian heresies and the Arian heresies and all these heresies, and everybody's fighting. And really, what's the difference between a Catholic and a Protestant? You know what I mean? The Irish and the English are fighting, or the Welsh and the Scots are fighting. I'm an American. I don't know the difference between a Welsh and a Scots, and you know, they're all just you know, just like we all like comic books. We're comic book fans. How about that? How about that's our group, comic book fans? Nothing happened to just talking comics and not attacking. No names, no movements, nothing personal. Yeah. Logic Finest. Again, when are you going to come on my channel? You know, when are you going to come on? You know, and it's funny because who was I saying this last night that whenever a Logic fan, when I see that he disagrees with me, I get clenched because I know I'm going to get destroyed because he's such, you know, if I was in a debate, I keep picking up my soda and not drinking it. Let me just imagine it's high school and I'm on the debate club and the curtain goes up and Logic Finest is on the other side. I'm like, I'm doomed. Share a pint comics. There you go. And share your pint in Heroic Tales pint class. You know, it's got the patriarch. It's got the patriarch laurel wreath victory on the back. Those are still available. You can get them on Fund My Comic. You can also get them on Indiegogo. $10 a glass. I got to sell this stuff, guys. it's sitting in my garage. So there you go. What else do you want to talk about? I'm just putting this here because you don't need to see this mat is like coffee stained, and I think there's letters up there that you don't see. So again, I'll throw out the invite one more time. If people don't start saying stuff, if nobody pops in, we'll call it a day. And then at 9:30, I'll be live again with Paul Thayer. Gonna talk project analysis. Oh, I didn't make a stream for this yet, but tomorrow at 3:00, I'm going to. I just got the notification from you, Pops. Thank you for back my comment. Tomorrow at 3:00, I will be talking with Edward. He does a comic, Ed Art. I don't know his last name, and even if I did it, he doesn't share it. So he has a comic called Eno, the Desert King. RJ discovered him, and I did a comic book team up with him on RJ's channel. I think 2 weeks ago. What a talent this guy is! What a talent this guy is! So he asked me if he could come on my channel and we'll talk about the ins and outs of crowdfunding. So so tomorrow at 3:00, we'll talk about that. That'll be an open invite for anybody with tips and tricks about crowdfunding. So I'll make that stream and announce that. So because he is a talent, he does everything for his comic, and then he just like sells them to people around him. The guy could do everything about a comic, so he's reaching out to expand his circle. And me, I didn't even deliver yet, so I'm honored that he asked me, and I'm using what little influence I have to see if we can help this guy. What a talent he is. Mike's Total Dragon channel. When's the insurance money coming up? Probably just missed the call because I just got a call while I was streaming from the insurance guy, so I'm going to call him right back as soon as I'm done streaming. So I'm hoping it's coming as soon as I talk to him and say okay or whatever. Go figure, right? I've been waiting 3 months, and then I turn on the camera, and that's when the insurance, because they've never called me before. They've always just, texted me. So there you go. So he's probably calling me to tell me that I'm denied and I'm screwed. In which case, it was nice knowing everybody. What else you want to talk about? That's it. But I really like this comment by Fine. I'm going to bring it up again. What happened to just talking comics, not attacking each other? And I hope this stream isn't clipped and put on that Comicsgate drama. Please don't do that. I don't want to have anything to do with Comicsgate drama. Nothing against it if you like it, but I want to talk about comics. Sometimes I say things I regret saying. John Byrne made me buy my first DC comics when he left Marvel to draw Superman. I never liked DC comics, but Byrne made me look at what appealed to me since. Yeah, I have to say, before Crisis on Infinite Earths, I collected Legion of Superheroes, New Teen Titans, and Infinity Incorporated, and Batman and the Outsiders. So I did collect. I collected 4 comics, DC comics, before Crisis on Infinite Earths. Because I'm a comic book guy, because people, comic book seem to show up. People would like, hey, you like comics? Here you go, kid. I had Superman and Batman comics, but I didn't particularly like them because they were Silver Age DC, and I was a mature kid. And Silver Age DC was for little kids. Marvel was for the cool kids. And John Byrne got me to collect Superman. So I love Superman. And a matter of fact, John Byrne's Superman is a big inspiration in my comic, Eddie is Doomed. Because I remember talking with people in the comic book store. They were like upset, old timers. So I'm what, 15, 16 years old, going into the comic book store, getting John Byrne drawing Superman. And guys my age were pissed. You destroyed my childhood. This isn't my Superman. Oh, I don't like what they're doing. And I was like, man, look at these old farts over here, And now I'm the old fart. And what they're doing to my Spider-Man and what they're doing to my Thor and the Fantastic Four, I totally get it. So this is partially an inspiration for Eddie is Doomed. Eddie's comic book is being changed. Poor Eddie. We're all Eddie. Although Eddie's not as likable as... I actually had to ask Tonic Bolt to tone it down. I want people to like Eddie. I met John Byrne probably half a dozen times. Every time he was on his best behavior, there you go. Tell him I said hello. Tell him I'm a big fan. I had an opportunity to talk to Chris Claremont once. I was on a Boston convention, and he just looked so pissed. He looked pissed. Maybe I misread it, whatever. And I was like, I stopped. That happened 2 times. I was all excited to go see Eric Powell, who does the Goon. I had a monkey wrench. I came from work. I found this big monkey wrench, and I was going to ask him to autograph it. And then, I was going to hang it up, because the Goon has a monkey wrench. So I found this old monkey wrench, cleaned it up, painted it bright red so it looks like a prop. And then but I went to his booth. He looked so angry. I just chickened out. I don't know why. I'm kind of a pest that I'll just walk up and talk to anybody. But something about Eric Powell just made me. I just walked away. And the same thing with Chris Claremont. The two times I just walked away. I don't know why. I'm like disappointed in myself because I've never had an opportunity. When am I going to meet Eric Powell again? Nightfall and Night's End got me to buy Batman comics. That Chick Dixon. That's Chuck Dixon's doppelganger from another universe. Chick Dixon. That's, I don't know. I'm making myself laugh. But Chuck Dixon. Yeah, I got all of those. After Crisis on Infinite Earths, I was all in on DC to the point where I was just as much as a raving fanboy of DC as I was Marvel. To the point, like, there were times when like my car payments were late, but I still had all the comics. Man of Steel is the best Superman. The movie, because I don't like the movie. Hey, John Byrne was on Spider-Man in '99. It looked like it was from 1986. Yeah, I like John Byrne's Spider. I like anything John Byrne does. I like anything John Byrne, from the Next Men to I'm collecting his Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch, his first regular comic series. There's something about the lines that just scream John Byrne. I'm going to get his Space 1999 comics from Charlton too. Chris Claremont is awesome to talk to. I've talked to him at New York Comic Con twice, and he would talk for at least. Oh wow, okay, so it was just me then. It was me, or maybe he was having a bad day, or maybe I just misinterpreted, or maybe I just got, I put these guys on such high pedestals that I intimidated myself. Just waiting on a class, then I have to be a groomsman. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Good. No, by Byrne. Okay, yeah, I agree with you. The Man of Steel was really good. Good 6-issue series. That was one of the few times, and I'm not proud to admit it, that I speculated. And I bought 3 copies because I thought, this is going to be worth a lot. Yeah. The very first time I ever speculated, I bought 2 copies of Tarzan #1 by Roy Thomas and Sal Buscema back in 1976. And those comics are in every quarter bin. The second time I speculated was I think Man of Steel, and I can't recall if I've ever speculated ever again after that. Meaning I purposely bought multiple copies thinking they were going to be a lot. I ended up with a lot of comics of multiple copies because I didn't realize I bought them, or people gave me comics, but I those are 2 times that I can remember I purposely bought extra copies thinking that they were going to be worth a lot of money. And both times, I met Chris Claremont at Forbidden Planet in London. He was very pleasant. He shook my hand and signed my. Oh, that's just awesome. I love hearing. I get nervous when people tell me like comic book hero stories because I'm like, oh man, is he going to be good? Let's put another comic over here. Okay. Man of Steel is what John Byrne did. He went to Krypton in history. Yes, yeah. I remember. Like comic book argue with friends that they didn't like. They liked everything that he did with Superman, but they didn't like what they did with Krypton. And I really like that John Byrne brought back Mom and Pa Kent. That was such a humanizing touch to have Ma and Pa Kent alive in continuity. Beautiful. That was awesome. I like the fact that this Superman, this all-powerful, basically angelic being, because that's what Superman is. He's an angelic being who comes and then sits down, and he's still somebody's kid, and he's yes ma, yes pa, and they're worried about it. But I don't know. I just love that. I love that to death. So good. I love the whole family. Issue 4 of Heroic Tales is going to have Patriarch. A lot of it is going to be at home interacting with his family. And I just love it. I just love this powerful being interacting with his kids. Like, he's just dad. Like I have a couple of friends who have famous parents. And as much as you're like, wow, that's so cool, they're like, that's my dad. That's just dad to them. That they're not, movie star X. They're just dad. And I like that. So that is really cool. I fall in the Death of Superman trap. Oh yeah. my brother, who's not into comics, bought a couple of copies of that. They're still in the plastic bag, and they're still only worth 50 cents. Yeah, they printed 1 million. I met Stan Lee, got a picture of him when he was alive. Oh, that's good, because I so much better than getting pictures of him when he was dead. I never met Stan Lee. I saw him once at New York Comic Con. You know, he was just waving. And the funny thing, I gotta sneeze. Oh, God. The funny thing is my older brother, who's not a comic book guy, he got all, oh my God, that's Stan Lee. Oh my God, that's Stan Lee. You know, it was funny. My brother, who's this big, scary biker dude, got all, oh my God, that's Stan Lee. I speculated on the Marcus Texeira glow-in-the-dark Ghost Rider cover. I still got 14 copies. Allergy season is the worst. I'm not allergic to anything. I don't know. My favorite Superman moments are when he's just interacting with people. Yeah, that's why Hitman 34. I forget if it's 34 or 35. It's Tommy Callahan meets Superman, and they just have a conversation. It's one of my favorite comic books, written by Garth Ennis. Drawn by John McCrae. I would love to talk to Garth Ennis about that comic. Love to talk to Garth Ennis about that comic. Oscar says, bless me. Thank you. Yeah, he saw me sneeze. I may be in the minority, but I like when writers go to Krypton and don't follow the crystal tech, but write physical tech and show the religion of her. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that. So, I didn't finish my thought, but my friend Mike was, Mike, he did that comic Marshall Strong, that when he finishes his obligation to Thunderzone Comics, we're probably going to bring that into Longbox Comics, but because it's set in the same universe. He didn't really like the John Byrne version of Krypton. He liked the Silver Age, the kitschy Flash Gordon-esque. And I gotta say, I like the John Byrne sterile environment and everything like that. But as I get older, I kind of like the kitschy Flash Gordon, way of Krypton. So what do you guys think? Mike Migdola's art on John Byrne's World of Krypton. Oh, that's right. I forgot that Mike Mignola did that. Good recollection. Good recollection. Now my nose is running. I'm just going to close my box while I blow my nose. You don't need to see that. There you go. I prefer the crystal look. Yeah, that's from the movie. Yeah, the crystal look is pretty classic. I don't like the word iconic. I don't know, because most people misuse it, but classic is fine. So I've been talking for an hour and 18 minutes. Let's see. I got another comic just to put here, just to give you something to look at. Wolf and Batsy. Lustboard Nightmares. So this is new stuff to me. So I'll be reading this. Brian Bow. So anybody want to pop in? Here, I'll put the link in here. You can just click on it, pop in and talk. If you do, remember to turn off YouTube, otherwise we'll have the horrible echo. So I'm just closing all my windows because it looks like we're winding down. It's 4 o'clock. I got friends coming over at 6 with pizza. I want to clean up here. We're going to play Starship Captains. It's a board game. And then, it's just nice. Every Monday, I got one group of friends come over. We play board games. And then every Thursday, I got a different group of friends come over. We play board games. That's why I don't stream on Mondays and Thursdays. But tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'll have Ed Art talk about. He's going to be asking questions about crowdfunding. So I'll make the stream and I'll put it out if anybody wants to answer his questions. Help both of us, because I'm a newbie. I'm level 1. He's level 0, and then at 8 o'clock tomorrow, it's a comic book. It's clobbering time. Judge Dredd versus Batman, and I will need help because I still have only read like 3 or 4 Judge Dredd comics. So I will argue the Punisher by default because I know the Punisher. I don't really know Judge Dredd, so I am going and asking for help. Join us. It'll be an open invite. You guys could be the experts on Judge Dredd. So there you go. All right. Looks like we're calling it off. It's done. All right. Thanks a lot. This was a lot of fun, and I'll see you. Thanks for the super chat. Like, subscribe. I do have a membership offer, but I don't really do anything about it. What should I do for memberships? Anybody got any ideas? What do you guys do on your channels for memberships? I don't know. Oh, you'll try to connect tomorrow. You know a little Dredd? Okay, cool. I know a little Dredd too. I haven't seen any of the movies. I read like 3 or 4 comics. I know a couple of the spoofs of them, but it would be more authentic if a fan of Judge Dredd joined us tomorrow. Sunday at 10 a.m. I'll do the next. I think it's issue 4 of Star Wars. Yeah, issue 4 of the Marvel Comics Star Wars. We'll get. I'm doing all 6 of them, and then I don't know what I'll do after that. I'm thinking of doing a series. Maybe I'll just call it Comics Great. Just throw it in Comics Great. Inviting people, and just when you show up, have 10 covers, ready to go, and we'll talk about why you like these comics. That'll be the premise of that. So it'll just be like, whether it's an emotional story, I like this because of this. I like this because of, me and my buddies were hanging out in the basement. I like this because it was a big hunt, and then I finally found it. Or this is a great comic. Whatever reason, 10 covers. You talk about them. Next person will do 10 covers, talk about them, or whatever. So I'm gonna prep it up and do it myself to show people kind of what I want to do. It's inspired by RJ from the Fourth Age. He did it Wednesday. He just streamed through and showed great covers, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching it. So I have an idea for story. So Dracula's head back up because he's the most powerful vampire. Because I have this idea of Dracula being because he used. Okay, cool. Work on your comic. Yeah, Luniverse is gonna. He's starting out from scratch. He's gonna teach him. He's gonna learn how to draw and make his comic. So he's got a project, in the making from ground zero. Good for him. The IDW Judge Dredd wasn't bad. I was going to say speaking of IDW, but that's a whole topic in another. But I'm gonna end on this. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thank you.